We want to give the floor. We are going to turn the floor over to Ashlyn Greer. She obviously will tell you all about what she's building, what she's doing, etc. But we well, let's see here. Make sure everyone turns their video off and then turn it over to her. Of course, I'll turn mine off as well. And again, please mute as well, so that everyone can kind of hear her. Take it away, Ashlyn.
Awesome. Hi, guys. How's everybody doing? All right, we're going to jump right in. So like JC said, my name's Ashlyn. I'm the founder of Fashivly, and we are building the future of shopping. So when we talk about the problem here, some interesting stats for you guys. So the average American woman spends 100 hours searching for the 60 pieces of clothing that she'll add to her wardrobe every year. There's over 1 billion options online. Those change every season. To make this realistic for you guys, I feel like we've all been there. We've got like a last minute presentation or a pitch or even just an event like a wedding, and we're spending hours scrolling online. We're frantically searching in store for something to wear. It's really, really pretty frustrating process. And Fashivly really is the solution. So who we are is we're a team of industry experienced stylists. We source and select every single piece. It's highly personalized. It's based on your body type, your lifestyle, your budget, and your style goals. We put together head to toe accessorized looks. So it's not just jeans and t-shirt in a box. And we send you digital looks and shoppable links straight to your inbox. So what you'll see right here is an example of what our product is currently today. So we have a 16 data point questionnaire, basically, that clients fill out. And what they get back is this pre-pulled curated list where everything is already available in your size, it's in your budget, it's built based on your specifications of what you're looking for, and everything in here is clickable and easy to shop. Some traction to date. So we've styled almost 3,000 clients. We have generated $323,000 in revenue. We've sold $500,000 in merchandise for retailers and brands, and we've generated 16 million views on TikTok. So the really cool thing about that, it's got us some great press opportunities. We just had a feature in the New York Times last week, which was pretty crazy. And you're probably familiar with some other people that have tried to solve in this space. So what we feel like is that these companies have really led with software first. They're hiring unskilled stylists that really aren't experts in their field, and they're owning inventory. And that's really limiting the options that they're able to pull for customers at the end of the day. All these things combined, they're really delivering solutions that customers don't want. How we're different is we're fashion first. So myself, I spent 10 years in the fashion industry on the creative marketing and branding side and styling as well for big brands. Taylor joined us last year to really help us start to scale. She's been at 2 startups previously that she's really helped grow and scale those companies. And really our team is absolutely stacked with fashion industry vets. This is just a small snapshot of our styling team. We've got everybody from someone that's a buyer at Target. We've got somebody that's a concept designer at Free People, and tons of freelancers that are working for some of the biggest names in the industry. Our revenue model, so we make money in 3 different ways. We've got an upfront styling fee that's got 65% gross margin. We also make commission on almost every product sold. So we're doing that without having to own any inventory, which again is so central to our business model. We have the whole internet to choose from. That's the inventory, and we're making a little bit of a cut on any product that we sell from that. Brand partnerships is also a potential huge revenue stream for us down the road, opening up that B2B in addition to B2C. And we're already starting to kind of experiment with this. We had a really great event with Madewell that we hosted in December, a shopping event in store. We did a ton of content around that as well. And we're talking about a pretty big market here. So $2 billion is our serviceable market. And when you really start to think about the implications at scale, that market is solely based on the top 20 US metro areas for women. So when you think about this, it's obvious that this would be a great product for men as well. That really starts to open that market up even more. We actually have 8% of our business already that's international. So Canada, the UK, Australia, some other countries in the EU already make up about 8% of our current clients as well. Talk a little bit about growth here. So we had 170% year-over-year growth last year. And so much of this is really organic. And I'm going to get into the kind of the backstory of how we started in a second, but we're having new client growth that's pretty crazy that we're trying to keep up with. And just to give you a little bit of a snapshot of that. So 74% of our revenue has come in the last 12 months. So we made $200,000 last year. We've already made $45,000 in the first 35 days of this year. So you can imagine what that's like for a small startup right now. And really the story of this has been all about content. It's both the content that we're generating, it's the content that our clients are talking about us online and talking about us to their friends. We've done these very, very small micro influencer campaigns. All of this combined has returned $20,000 to $30,000 weeks in revenue that for us right now, we're spreading out over a month of delivery, and we're basically leveraging that and using that to continue to grow. So we're retooling, we're hiring, we're using those big jumps in order to continue to grow our company. So we launched in 2021 on TikTok. And really our entire top of funnel marketing strategy is around educational content. So what that means is I think there's a lot of just mystery around fashion in the industry. So we're breaking that down and we're really kind of democratizing fashion for people. We're showing them this is the type of shoe to wear with this new type of pant silhouette, or these are what the trends are that you need to know about, or this is even what the trend cycle means. And like, how do you shop smarter within that when you're aware of that? And that's really how we've grown. I was just talking in my breakout session a minute ago that we really started with the bare minimum. And our first product, we didn't even have a website. We didn't have an email address. It was Instagram DM that people would find us. We would send them back an unorganized Google Doc of links, and we had strangers Venmoing us. That was our first product. And we were still growing from that. And I feel like if you're a founder here or you're thinking about starting a company, I'd really encourage you to almost kind of start there, and don't start with the thing that's scalable. Start with something that people are obsessed with and that they love, and that despite the fact that you don't even have a website or you don't even have a polished app yet, people are wanting more and they're telling their friends and they're coming to you. And that's going to be the thing that you're able to continue to leverage for your company. So to give you a little bit of an update of kind of where we're at now, we are building V1 of our current platform. So we're so excited about this. We had gotten to the point where we were using a platform stack of about 10 different solutions to deliver that style guide product to our customer. And a couple of things with this product. It's a Google Chrome extension. It's also a backend for our stylist. So it's a huge efficiency tool for us, but there's so many other features with this as well. We're going to be able to actually combine and bundle multiple affiliate networks using some API integrations. We'll also are going to be delivering really an elevated shopping experience for our client. So it's going to be on our branded Fashivly, website link where they can more easily view their looks. They can shop those looks in an even better enhanced way. So we're really, really excited about this. When we talk about that future of shopping, so what does that mean? Really what that looks like is the next feature that we'll add on to our platform, and the thing that we'll go after next is really the sourcing arm of our platform. And what that looks like is AI-powered software integration. It's translating client inspiration images into filtered shoppable links. So we think the future of shopping is highly, highly personalized. It's not searching for a needle in a haystack. And what that'll look like is our stylists still expertly selecting that final piece and building those outfits, but they're doing a single search click in order to find those pieces. That's the software that we're building. So the thing that's really exciting about this is really being able to turn this on its head and also make this client facing. So one of our top content pieces that we have every week is something called Thursday Things. And that really tells you that this really is a problem. We have dozens and sometimes hundreds of people. We put this prompt out and we say, name something that you're looking for and the price, and we'll find it for you on the internet. And we get everything from people saying, I'm looking for the perfect jean that fits, my hourglass body type, and here's my waist measurements, all the way to somebody that's saying, I need a spring floral dress for a wedding in Miami. People are looking for these things. They don't want to spend hours scrolling. We're using our stylists right now to source those things and pull those things for them. And we think turning this on its customer head and giving this to them will be absolutely huge. So right now we're in our first fundraising round. Like I mentioned, we're a bootstrap company. We're raising $1 million price seed round here. And that's it. We're Fashivly on all platforms: Pinterest, TikTok, Instagram, fashivly.com. Would love to talk to you guys.
Gosh, this is so great to see. I love hearing all about the traction. I love hearing about the start. I'm sure if anyone has questions, of course, I've seen a couple in the chat. And then if more people have some, let's go ahead with it. But just a quick, just for sake of time, what can people help you with right now? Like, what do you need? Obviously, you mentioned your fundraise, but as you build, what is something in here or, like outward in the world that they can help you with?
Yeah, I mean, so we're working with a fractional CTO right now on this first phase of our build, but we're really eventually kind of looking for that technical co-founder to join our team. We're moving more into being a fashion technology company. We've kind of been operating as an MVP up until now, and we've had great traction with that. So, I think that's what we're looking for next, and obviously the fundraising piece as well, getting ready to jump into that.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, of course, there's a lot of tech folks in the community and in Atlanta Tech Village, of course, here. So hopefully, if someone heard it, they know that. But if anyone else has any questions, throw them in there. Ashlyn, you'll be around, right, for the rest of
Yeah.
the time. There is a couple in the chat that you might just want to ping in there. And then, of course, if you want to throw your info in the chat as well, I know obviously it was there, but if people want to connect, or if you want to, I'm sure that would be great. So thank you so much for sharing your story. It is really great to hear those beginnings. So thank you for that.
Awesome.
All right. Next up, Luis. He has already got it ready. I am going to just turn it over to you. Let's hear it.
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you, JC, and the AV team for having us here today. I work out of ATV, and I can't explain how much the AV team does for the Atlanta startup community. So thank you. Well, as JC mentioned, my name's Luis, and I'm the founder and CEO of Ditch. Ditch is a personal finance app that focuses on helping people get and stay out of debt. Before starting Ditch, I was a data scientist for a multi-billion-dollar lending company. And during this time, I built models and analyzed data for hundreds of thousands of customers that were managing debt. And in the process of doing so, I came to the conclusion that one, most people had a really hard time managing their debt. Two, there's a lot more debt being originated now than ever before. And three, the existing solutions were not solving the core problem. And I also discovered that managing debt properly came down to four critical areas. First, education. Second, awareness. Third, planification. And fourth, advisory. We also realized through deep customer research that when served independently, these solutions just didn't create the impact required to make a difference in the user's journey to debt freedom. So with this in mind, we felt like there was a space for a company like Ditch to exist, a full spectrum debt companion that touched all of the customer pain points. We recognized that the existing solutions were too fragmented. Either they were only focused on the budgeting, or they only provided the education, or they provided the advisory services, but at a prohibitively expensive cost. And in fact, most of the personal finance apps out there today are focused on helping people who want to grow their savings and investments. Whereas we work with the person who's thinking investments, brokerage accounts, savings, growing my net worth. I am $42,000 in debt, and this interest rate is killing me. And that's exactly what I need to focus on right now. And luckily for us, that market is huge. In fact, there are 240 million people grappling with consumer debt. And while our product serves a wide array of people, our brand and messaging closely speaks to Gen Zs and millennials. And it just so happens that every year there are 4 million Gen Z opening a new trade line for the first time. So what does a full spectrum debt management solution look like? For us, it meant hand-holding our users through the entire journey of debt management. We wanted to create the awareness, which for us meant fortifying the user with aggregated analytics of their debt across all their providers, and give the user a clear and concise starting point via a tailored debt priority plan that tells them exactly what debt to focus on at every moment. We also wanted to financially educate our users. So we built a fully gamified learning platform with bite-sized courses and levels, and we made it fun. We got experts to create courses that are engaging, and we even built a For You page where users are shown courses that are related to the debt that they currently have. But we felt like realistically, changing your current financial picture would also require changing your behaviors. So we built a debt-focused budgeting tool that helps keep you honest with your spending. And it recommends places for you to cut back by measuring the impact it'll have on your journey to debt freedom. And finally, we bundled all this into a smart financial concierge that knows you and your finances and is available 24/7 to answer questions like, can I afford to take a vacation? Or let's review my transactions for last week. Dash is an extremely capable agent that serves as an assistant when it comes to your finances, and our users are loving it. With all this, we set out to build a product that generated undeniable value for our users while still generating revenue as a company. So at this stage, we've distilled our business model to be as simple as possible. You pay for a product, you get a product. You get to try it for 7 days, and then we charge you $8.99 a month or $89.99 a year. However, I think that what's most impressive about Ditch is our incredible team. We've managed to garner the interest of scrappy and very highly motivated people who've taken our mission as their personal responsibilities. And in just short of 10 months, this team has been able to create a winning product and a winning brand. And lastly, like I mentioned in a LinkedIn post yesterday that marked my anniversary from working full-time on Ditch, I feel lucky to be a founder. I think that that's especially true for me because our company has an amazing mission, which is to empower people in their journey to financial freedom by helping them ditch their debt. For those interested, Ditch is available on both iOS and Android stores, and we're currently prepping for our next round of funding. So if you're someone who wants to pay off their debt faster, or if you're an investor who wants to learn more about what makes us a special company, feel free to reach out.
Gosh, so cool to see. So you said, Luis, 8 months ago, or you said your year of not working. Tell me more about that timeline.
Yeah, so a year ago, exactly yesterday, I quit my full-time job to start working on Ditch. And in the meantime, we've written hundreds of thousands of lines of code. We've launched the product, we've raised cash, we've built a team. And honestly, like I tell everyone that I run across, I think I have the best job in the world. It's just amazing and so freeing. And so for us, it's been an incredible opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it. A year is so long in startup time, but also nothing at all. So that's really exciting. Congrats on that.
Totally.
If of course, if anyone has questions, feel free to put it in the chat. A few people are asking, maybe you can put a couple links about how to get the app. Because you quickly shared or turned off your links, all of that. So if people want to connect with you, that'd be great. And then one quick question, I just because we're talking about entrepreneurship, I'd love to hear what has been the hardest thing for you as you're either navigating customers, questions, you know, many year. I'd love to hear real quick.
Of course, I think the hardest part about startups is, first of all, the execution, just showing up consistently every day. I think that like people highly overestimate the ideas. They highly overestimate the technical complexities of building a product. The hardest thing is to show up, be inspirational to you and your team because you can't do it all yourself. So being and sharing that passion with your team and really inspiring folks that will give themselves fully to your mission, that's really hard. In terms of like the actual like tactical things, I think like go to market is something that people don't think about enough. Like you can build a great product and it could sit in a shelf in perpetuity and like no one will use it, and you could have a great product that you and 6 people use, and if you're B2B that works, but when you're direct to consumer you have to have channels to reach a large amount of people, and getting really good at that is a skill in and of itself. So again, I could go on and on. I think again, I love this job. This is the best job in the world by far, but there are like obviously complexities to it.
Yeah, of course. Oh, well, thank you for sharing. And again, I assume you'll stay around if you want to connect with Luis. He'll share his info there, and we just appreciate you sharing your story on all platforms. So thanks, Luis.
Yes, thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course. All right, William's already here. He's ready. I'll let you take it away.
Awesome. How are you guys doing? Crowd goes wild. Yeah. Again, shout out to Ashlyn and Louise, and I could not agree more with kind of your statement, Louise, of just you know, it really comes down to, you know, perseverance and really building something that people want to be passionate about helping you build. So without further ado, I'm William King. one of the co-founders over here at SuperCopy AI, and we are AI marketing tech. And where we're focusing is applying AI into data management and organization for marketing teams, both internal and external. And really what that means, right, is we live in a day, and I'm sure most of you founders feel the same thing, where there's so much data out there, but sometimes you just look at it and you're like, what in the world does this mean to me? Like, okay, sure, we have millennials on leaving Facebook and going to X, or hey, LinkedIn, I should be approaching LinkedIn at a very different tone of voice, etc. It is so hard to understand what channel and what voice and what even insight you should use to be able to reach your customer. And even then, understanding the data that drives who you are as a company and who your audience segments can and should be. So where we are building is this kind of idea where right now traditional marketing is just it's going crazy, where it's a pay to play environment where you are lucky to get 1% success rate of the people that you're talking to, just due to the different types of niches of people, the different types of customer segments, and every single dollar spent is also time spent with a team helping you out. So, and again, if I sniffle, y'all, I'm sorry. I have like some allergies right now, so bear with me. So where SuperCopy comes in is we turn data into identity. And really what that means, again, we take our AI and we scrounge the websites and engagements of your users, and we transform that into what we call usable and actionable data in forms of marketing personas, which I'll get to in a little bit. But we take the complex and make marketing and understanding your channels, your segments so easy you don't even need to be a marketer anymore to do it. So we have a lot of startup founders using us, solopreneurs using us. But if you are a marketer, you can now use this to even just engage your audience. It's so much better, do so much more work, and also make sure you're leveraging data instead of gut-driven instincts. Oops, sorry, y'all, wrong way. And what does that mean, right? We are creating something called AI persona creations, where we're taking all this complex data and putting into these little tiny marketing personas that can both represent your company and your audience you should be, engaging with. And what that allows you to do is now begin to build and work on a knowledge base that your team can share. So it's easy to scale across a team, internal or external, inside of a large company. It's now super easy to create campaigns. You're able to target your content so much better, because again, you're using the correct data in order to drive these engagements. And where we kind of begin to play in is where you have all these AIs out there, right? ChatGPT, I mean, it's everyone's best friend right now, where it is so hard to really silo down and focus your search and your creation of content, where you end up having to have more of a conversation that ends up taking the time it could have taken you to make the tweet or the LinkedIn post, to really truly understand where you are trying to go. And we come in as a guardrail system, and really try to focus in on how to help these teams be more targeted, be more personal, which of course increase your engagement and helps you sell whatever you're trying to sell as a company. Gosh, I'm going the wrong way again. That's funny. And we have a lot of people that are loving what we're doing. We've been very bootstrapped for about a year now. We just left the Techstars Accelerator past year, and we exited with 5,000 paid users using us, which is awesome, because we were at 40 last year. Just really, and I think that has a lot to do with some of the partnerships we made, a lot of our outbound marketing research, using SuperCopy to market itself as a case study in itself. And we had just a wonderful kind of use case of people exploring and trying to understand where marketing lives in this new AI environment. We've had almost, half a million pieces of content created, anywhere from blogs to tweets to LinkedIn posts. And what's super interesting to us is we have 40,000 unique personas created. And what a persona is, I can get into that too, is where we take all your information as a brand. You input a website in here, you can input a Instagram page in here, and we go out onto the line online, and we look at your online presence, like who you are, your brand's DNA, and we compile it into a super user-friendly interface of displaying this information to you, which you can then use for your marketing efforts. You can then take this brand persona and use it to discover your audience, right? So hey, let's say Coca-Cola is using us. We can then apply this to saying, hey, what are some different audiences that we could segment to? In this case, right, like a recent retiree, how would I be engaging with them as a form of marketing from Coca-Cola? So kind of we understand their psychographics, their demographics, like their problems, again, the why behind who these people are and why they want to be talked to. And ending in content personalization, right? Where now we are taking the brand data, applying with the audience segmentation data. So now you have content that is going to be always on brand and always on target. So it's pretty like it takes a lot of time away and a lot of guessing away, and also turns this gut-driven interaction that a lot of marketers are kind of forced to use. And now you can rely on data-driven without spending the time to research and learn and understand that a little bit more. So if I have time, and again, I know this always takes a little more time, I would love to jump in and show you guys the demo. I truly believe that there's nothing better than kind of seeing how this stuff works. So Atlanta Ventures team, if I am running out of time, let me know, and I'll try to cut this short as fast as possible.
Keep going.
Okay, awesome. So here is SuperCopy. Again, like all these AI this, AI that, I really want to kind of show you what this really means to a company like yours, or just larger companies in general. Where I am able to go to, let's say, I'll show you, I highlight just a couple different things. I can type in Atlanta Ventures website, might as well do some nice marketing for you guys, and create a brand persona for Atlanta Ventures. So again, I am going out and saying, hey, I am Atlanta Ventures, or my client is Atlanta Ventures, and I want to create a brand persona for them. So right now, SuperCopy is going to their website, is reading their links, is looking at who is engaging with it, and trying to better understand the positioning of the brand that is Atlanta Ventures. And this takes a little bit of time, but again, this is really kind of taking your kind of AI search that's normally is like a shotgun approach and really narrowing it down to make sure that anytime I'm talking about Atlanta Ventures, I'm able to begin to pull from this data source, as opposed to having to instruct and learn of teach an AI every single time. Atlanta Venture folks, I'm sure this looks perfect, right? Like this is exactly what the brand is. It pulls what industry it's in, the brand voice, the brand positioning, the description, all this stuff looks good to me. I'm going to now save this persona. And now I have a giant library of different personas to use. Right now, Atlanta Ventures is one of them. As you can see, I have a lot of different marketing teams and audiences that I am now trying to communicate with. But we had the brand part. Now let's find the audience part. I can go in here. I can say, hey, Atlanta Ventures, who should I be talking to if I am them, right? Again, this is using your brand data we just collected, but also trying to find out like who in the world is even engaging with people like Atlanta Ventures. So it's looking at companies that are similar, right? Social media engagement, really trying to understand like who has the problems that Atlanta Ventures has a solution to solve. And it will give you 3 different options to play around with. And again, this is really focusing heavy on removing the idea of customer research out of the equation for a lot of marketing teams. And a lot of marketing teams don't even have time to do it, or it's too costly to do it. Especially the smaller teams, they just guess and they run with it. So we have 3 different personas here: ambitious tech founder, visionary digital professional, resilience e-commerce entrepreneur, right? All these are different types of personas that, right, Atlanta Ventures now has the ability to say, understand and be able to market towards them, right? So we have the psychographic data, the demographic data. I'm going to go ahead and save a couple of these to show some examples. So now, right, we have all this foundational data, right? I have this big like data library that me and my team can access as we're marketing, where we can make sure we're always speaking from the same brand and audience focused approach. So I'm going to go down to let's say LinkedIn, right? Because you're probably going to post a LinkedIn post after this, and I'm going to select Atlanta Ventures as my brand persona. I'm going to do an ambitious tech founder, and I'm going to say celebrate a awesome, and you guys are going to see how I spell under pressure. Celebrate in awesome. See, look at that. See, I'm already messing up. An awesome startup convo webinar event. And that's all we got to do. I'm going to go ahead and hit generate, and it's going to create a couple different options over here on the right. And again, all this really means is now as a team, or as a marketing team, or as a business, we're able to really kind of focus in on the creativity and the fun of now kind of tailoring this to what I want to use it for, as opposed to having to worry about, is this going to be on brand? Is this going to be relatable to people? Again, that's like the biggest thing. And we create that sense of a relation for you. So we have a couple different options, and whoever, JC, if you want to use some of this, please, feel free for your follow-up LinkedIn post. But now we're kind of taking out that guessing game, and we take the same approach, which is again this brand persona approach, like a persona data, and we apply it in a very varying different ways. We have different templates like you're seeing here. We have a super chat feature, right? Which this is your chat GPT experience, again, with that focused data overlaying it. And we also have something that we're messing around with called campaigns, which is more of like this linear approach to content creation as opposed to one and done. But I know that's a lot, y'all. It's a big thing to show real quick, but I'm going to stop here for questions. One thing that we are looking for is we just want more people to use it, right? The one thing that we learn when building startups is never build off assumptions. And we are really proud as a team to be doing extensive customer research. We've talked to about 1,200 different marketers, from freelancers all the way up to enterprise clients. And we want to make sure that, hey, this is the right tool for you. And again, as we search for that product market fit, right, that everyone's always trying to achieve. And the last little bit of kind of exciting news I'll share is 2 weeks ago, we just closed our first large enterprise client, Cox Media. So hopefully we will see some quite big evolutions of this product within the next couple of months. Again, partnering with them, making sure that, hey, this is also fit for a team at that size. But yeah, I know that was like fast and furious, but I'm glad to be here, and I'm here for any questions that you guys may have.
Oh, thank you, William. That is, I mean, so fun to hear. So it's always great to see like each founder dive into their product. So thank you for that. Love seeing a little bit of Atlanta Ventures there. We're gonna have to dig in more. I'm gonna like review the video and see how on brand it is. So I can let you know. We do have a few questions in the chat, and I bet maybe you can tackle those just afterwards, because I bet you'll be here. But I'll ask you one. Someone asked, can they use this on competitors, right? Like when you're trying to do audience research, is that something that you've seen users using it for?
Oh, which is great, right? We've seen users use this in so many crazy ways. We're like, hey, that's a good idea. People, yeah, when it comes to understanding your brand and other competitors' brand, yeah, people use this all the time at that kind of initial strategy phase of even understanding, like, let's say I was Coca-Cola, like what is Pepsi doing, right? Like who is the customers that Pepsi is targeting, right? And learning, is that someone I want to target as well? And we have a lot of really kind of interesting ideas. We're actually baking in also axillary personas where if I create one for SuperCopy, it automatically knows my competitors as well and kind of puts that information out there for my team to understand, to see where can I drive this versus where I want to drive away from my competitors.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad I know you said you already, how can we help you? It sounds like use a product, get feedback, talk to you, customer discovery.
And we are beginning to raise as well. So if there are any investors out there and want to get in contact with me, please, add me on LinkedIn. I'd love to have that conversation. But yeah, just again, use the tool, break the tool, and we have a free trial if you guys want to use it. And I'll go ahead and also make a nice little promo code for all the Atlanta venture folks out there. And so I'll get in contact with you for that.
Great. Yeah, let me know. And of course, there are some more things. You'll be here for the next 5 minutes while we're wrapping up, but feel free to put your contact in there, anything you have, and contact information and your website or a promo code for this team. We will, for everyone here on the call, we of course will share out this recap tomorrow. As we do, we love, sharing stories, etc. So everyone on the call can be on the lookout for that. But because we do have 5 minutes left, I'm going to invite anyone who has a need or lead, right? So what that looks like, one thing that we try to do in helping this community is, if you need something or have something to offer, right? If you're a software developer or you need a software developer, I would love for y'all to throw that in the chat. This is the best way to connect. You of course can unmute if you'd like as well, but sometimes it's nice to have record of it. So if anyone has anything that they're looking to connect on or are an advisor and want to offer anything to anyone, throw that in the chat. And while that is happening, I'll go ahead and invite Evie to share our screen again. So we run 2 meetups every month. One of them is focused on startups in general. They're usually early stages. These guys crushing it already. And we also run a healthcare entrepreneurship meetup. And so that is happening next month at the end of the month. And we'll have some fun entrepreneurs there as well to join. So if you want to be a part of that, feel free. You can also just check out any of our events in the future at atlantaventures.com/events. And we will, if you'd like, we also have a newsletter. If you go to atlantaventures.com/newsletter, sign up, right? So you guys have all attended this meetup through meetup.com. And so if you'd like to kind of stay in the loop, feel free to subscribe to our newsletter and we will add that because that doesn't usually sync over from Meetup. And of course, one more request, we do love getting feedback as well. So if you guys do have a little bit of time, very quickly, it should be 1 minute maybe. We'd love that. Evie will put the link, of course, to the feedback form. That way you don't have to type this, I believe. But we love feedback and how we can make this better. And if you're looking to present in the future, let us know. Throw something in the chat here if you'd like. We love hosting folks all around. So those are my kind of housekeeping things. And of course, I'm looking to see if anyone, we've got contact info. There's a web developer here who's helping to connect. They need it. A couple people need some experts on either Webflow, Xanostack. So take a look there. And then, another couple people offering help just to reach out on the early stages, consulting, software engineers, full stack. Gosh, I love this. I love when people are connecting. So I will, we'll stay here another 2 minutes and just, if you guys have needs or leads that you want to share. Oh, they're coming in. Copy and paste this, people, because if you need help, these